You might be wondering why I'm known as the accidental Talmudist. My name is Salvador Litvak. I was born in Santiago de Chile. My mom was a Holocaust survivor from Hungary who moved to Chile when she was 12. My dad's family came from the Ukraine in 1905. So I'm a third-generation Chilean Jew, and I came to America when I was 5. I went to Hebrew school 3 days a week, which I found boring, had a bar mitzvah, and became a high holiday Jew, which is to say, pretty secular. It's sad because I was always very spiritual, but I thought Judaism wasn't about that. As a seeker, I got into meditation, endurance sports, drumming, Grateful Dead shows, martial arts, and philosophy, but I could never find what I was looking for. I went to Harvard, something I would never blurt out in the past, but now that it's more a badge of shame, why not? And I took a class there called The Bible as Literature. We read it cover to cover, and I had a lot of faith-based questions, but no rabbi in my life to ask about it. I reconnected with Judaism after my grandmother Magda passed away. It was a powerful, shared death experience that changed my life. And if there's interest, I'll make a video about that. I moved to California to attend UCLA Film School, and I've directed a few movies, including the classic Passover comedy, When Do We Eat? When I started learning Torah as an adult, I realized that I had written off Judaism based on the inadequate teaching I received as a child and my own arrogance. It was like if the only sushi you've ever had is from 7-Eleven and you conclude you don't like sushi. Thankfully, I encountered wonderful rabbis as an adult, and my journey began in earnest. Sooner or later, they all mentioned the Talmud, usually sooner, and that's our vast repository of Jewish wisdom and the oral tradition. I became curious, but I was intimidated. For those old enough to remember the Encyclopedia Britannica, it contained the wisdom of humanity in 23 densely packed volumes. The wisdom of the Jews occupies 73 densely packed volumes. Whenever I would enter the mitzvah store on Pico Boulevard, I'd look over at those volumes of Talmud and I would think, I'd like to learn that. But where would I begin? My Hebrew was not good and my Aramaic non-existent. I didn't even know if I was allowed to read it. Maybe you have to be a certain age, I thought, or an actual rabbi or something. And then I'd walk away. Repeat 12 times. On one visit in 2005, however, I thought, what am I so scared of? They're just books. I was an English major in college. There must be a book 1 of the Talmud. I'll just get that and see what it's like. I found the book, Brachas, and I took it to the counter. And the kid at the register said, "You're doing Daf Yomi." I said, "What's Daf Yomi?" And he looked at me like this. I thought, oh man, I'm not allowed to read the Talmud. Daf Yomi must be a code. I don't know the answer. Now he's got to get rid of me without embarrassing me. Awkward. He said, Daf Yomi is a worldwide program for learning the whole Talmud. Everyone reads 1 page a day on the same schedule. It takes 7.5 years to complete. And today is day 1. That's day 1 of a 7.5 year cycle. I said, I'll take it. The odds against this coincidence were 2,711 to 1. I got in my car and I said, okay, God, I get the message. I'm doing Daf Yomi. Now, many people start Daf Yomi, including rabbis and black hat religious Jews, but few finish. It takes about an hour a day, every day for 7.5 years. But God put the book in my hand, so I stayed with it. In 2012, I was blessed to attend the Siyum Hashas at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, along with 93,000 Jews. And as we danced to celebrate the completion of the Daf Yomi cycle, I couldn't help but think of Nazi stadiums where they burned our books and chanted death to our people. They murdered my grandfather at Dachau, but the Nazis are long gone, and there we were, 93,000 strong, celebrating an unbroken wisdom tradition that extends all the way back to Mount Sinai. I started sharing what inspires me in Judaism in a blog at the Jewish journal called Accidental Talmudist, and then on a Facebook page and website of the same name. It grew to 1 million followers. Now my wife Nina and I share Jewish wisdom, history, faith, and humor with a diverse audience of Jews and non-Jews. I teach a Daf Yomi class every day. Check us out at the link in my bio. Sign up for our weekly email to get Torah, Talmud, heroes, Jewish jokes, memes, and more right in your inbox. And now you know why I'm the accidental Talmudist.